So do you ever feel that circumstance when you're feeling kind of anxious, overwhelmed, exhausted, that steady state sometimes even of anxiety? Or maybe you even feel that, like, you know, shoulders in your ears, lump in your throat, pit in your stomach, worrying about what's going to happen. What if this? What if that? That kind of overlying state of anxiety that may not be clinical, maybe it is, but just that state of being that you want to get out of, you want to move beyond. That's what we're going to talk about today. Today I want to talk about an antidote to anxiety, no matter what kind of anxiety it is. This is something that any of us can use, no matter how severe the anxiety is. Yes, we have to choose it. We do have to take a step. We might have to ask for help to do it, but that is what I want to talk about today. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Kim Marie, and this channel is all about offering tips and guidance and support and inspiration to help you find the empowered woman within you. Now, if you're watching this channel, chances are you feel that you have this empowerment, this person within you with all of this potential, all of these possibilities. You know there's something more for you to do, and you're longing to do it, and you're struggling to do it, and things just seem to keep getting in the way. That's what these videos are all about. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any, and check out the other videos that are there, and listen till the end here, because I think so many of us are struggling with anxiety and wondering how to move beyond it. Share in the comments if you are experiencing some kind of anxiety or some kind of symptom the way that I've described it to you, or maybe it's slightly different how it looks for you. I'd love to hear and genuinely know what kinds of things show up for you that you wrestle with, okay? Now, first of all of what I'm going to share today is related to one overarching antidote to anxiety, and that is play. Now, hear me out, because I'm not talking about arbitrary, oh, just be playful and force something and, go play board games and, wrestle with your kid or do these things. Not all of us, that doesn't come naturally to all of us, right? So what I'm going to talk about in terms of play is some opportunities and possibilities that suit you. This channel is all about finding what works for you. What empowers you is going to be different than what empowers me and what empowers the next person, right? So when I'm talking about play, I want to share some concepts here that hopefully you'll find one or more of them in here, and do share with me in the comments if something does resonate. But the first piece I want to talk about is this idea that we hear that concept of laughter is medicine, right? Laughter can be such good medicine. And part of the reason for that is often on the other side of laughter is tears. And you can laugh yourself to tears or cry yourself to tears, right? And sometimes we get laughing so hard that we end up crying. And the reality is our body doesn't know the difference between the tears that are released out of laughter or the tears that are released out of crying and sorrow, okay? So that's why play can be so powerful. So when I'm talking about play, I'm talking about anything that can make you laugh or even just make you smile. It doesn't have to literally go to tears, but that might be, playing with your puppy. It might mean, taking your puppy for a walk, or just being with nature, or twirling some colorful leaves in your hand, or, getting out some art supplies or some other creative expression. Something that makes you smile, something that makes you laugh, something that brings joy, maybe a comedy. And, it can be your kind of comedy. I'm not big on the slapstick or kind of really dumbed down kind of comedies, but I do enjoy certain types of comedy, or, romantic comedies or things like that. So find what works for you. Something that will put a smile on your face, something that will bring lightheartedness to you, okay? It might mean, moving your body in a silly way to a song that makes you smile, or some kind of, childhood memory that makes you smile and reminds you of something. Maybe it's even baking something and getting the scents and the aromas that make you smile, right? And along the lines of that play often involves some kind of way of moving your body, all right? And we often have to move our bodies to do something creative. We often have to move our bodies to go spend time in nature, or to dance to some music, or take a walk or play with our puppy. The thing about moving your body is that it opens you up, in the sense that whatever feelings you're having around anxiety, whatever, shoulders in the ears or anything else like that, it starts to open the flow. Like if I'm dancing, right, I'm going to move my body, and it's going to feel very different to me than that tension or stiffness that I might be holding. If I'm playing with my puppy, if I'm painting, right? And here's the thing, I want to express that it's so important that you give it some time. It might feel really awkward at first. You're not going to want to go out the door to go for that walk or go to the dog park. You're not going to want to get the art supplies out. You're going to start painting, and something awkward might happen. And like, for example, I chose to do some finger painting a while back, and do it on a canvas. And I hadn't painted in a really long time, and it just felt like, okay, I want to do finger painting. Like I want to get my hands dirty and be in it. And before I knew it, I had mixed paints, and I had literally had what any novice artist can end up having, is like mud on my canvas. It was just a mix of colors that just did nothing. And it was a mess, right? And I thought, okay, I suck at painting. This is awful. I don't want to do this. But I hung in there, right? And I slowed down, and I just allowed myself to breathe and be with what I was doing. And pretty soon, I started, seeing color emerge back on the canvas, and I was able to come up with something that just felt good and light. And by the end of it, I really had something that felt lighthearted and fun and joyful, and it made me smile, right? The other thing about movement, not only to stick with it, but also, allow your body to be immersed in it. Like, let it be a sensory experience. Let it be something that you do, like swimming maybe, or, jumping in the water, or just swimming for the sake of swimming, not for exercise, not to get anywhere. Same thing with walking. You're just doing it. You're exploring. You're blowing on the dandelion seeds, or you're rustling your feet in the leaves, or whatever it is. Allow yourself to feel those things just for the sake of it. That's what I mean by play, right? So this concept of what puts a smile on your face, what helps you to laugh, what brings maybe tears, and certainly what brings movement. The thing about play is it engages with more than the lower aspects of our being, okay? When we're in a state of play, we're very much like that child who is just so connected to source, so connected to the joy of life, the magic of life, the enchantment of life that we so easily forget in our day-to-day lower activities, right? And we want to elevate our activities so that they are aligned with source and spirit, and that we're doing them in alignment with our soul's path. But sometimes it just can feel so hard when, we're trying to pay the bills, and we're trying to take care of the kids, and we're trying to get our work done and meet deadlines and satisfy our partners, or whatever it is. There's an aspect of play that just takes you out of that more mundane space, that allows you to move beyond it. And you no longer feel anxious because you're not thinking about the next thing that might happen. You're just playing. It puts us in the incredible presence. The other way that you can play in your life is to gamify the experience, right? Sometimes maybe you do have a deadline. Maybe you do have to get ready by a certain time, but you can play with it to kind of allow yourself to be like, okay, I've made this step, and I've made this step, and I've made this step. When I was young, I don't know how I started doing this, but when I was getting ready for school, I hated getting up. Any teenager hates getting up for high school, and I had to get up at like 5:30 in the morning in order to catch the bus on time. And I remember I would go into the bathroom after getting up, and I would start from the last thing that I had to do, which was get on the bus, to the next thing before that, which was like get my coat on or go outside or something like, and like the thing before that, which was, brush my teeth, or the thing before that, which was eat my breakfast. And I would kind of work my way backwards, and I would start out when I would get up in the morning and go into the bathroom, and I would be like, okay, all I have to do is get on the bus, get my coat on, brush my teeth, have my breakfast, etc. And I would work my way backward. And then I might I might be going to the bathroom and then I would get into the shower and I might have exhausted that list and I would start it again. And pretty soon I would have less, fewer things. By the time I was eating my breakfast, the all I have left to do list was get on the bus, brush, get my coat on, brush my teeth, right? Those were the only things left to do on my list. So that was a way of gamifying the experience and allowing myself to just have fun with it, right? To not worry about whether I'm going to make it on time, but just start playing with the idea of what I'm doing and feeling good about the achievements and noticing the list get shorter and shorter. Or maybe there's a way of offering yourself a reward or a celebration for what you're doing. My point is, when we're feeling anxious, it's often related to the idea that we don't give ourselves space or time for play. We don't allow ourselves to be creative, to move our bodies, to laugh. It's like we end up with this like, no time to laugh. Everything's so serious. Everything is so like required and calculated. And the opportunity to play gives us the opportunity to feel a certain sense of release, a sense of freedom, and a sense of connection to our true self. All right, I hope that is helpful. Be sure to subscribe, share this with others who might be feeling anxious. Hopefully there were a lot of tips and ideas and examples in there, little pieces. It's little baby steps that we can take, little moments of a smile, little moments of moving your body. I'm not talking about trying to fit in, exercise routines or anything like that. It's purposeless moments that make you smile and bring joy and creativity and expression to your life. Play. Think in terms of what a child does. They have no purpose other than to enjoy it. So what is it that you enjoy? Share in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what it is that you enjoy. And I have a special gift for you that is a report that you can subscribe to. And it is mistakes that women make often that leave them feeling depleted and exhausted and overwhelmed, and some solutions to those mistakes. So the link to that is in the description. Take a look at that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some things that you can play with. I hope that it serves as a great antidote to any of the anxiety that you're feeling. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you.